Thanks for taking some time to spend with us this morning, afternoon, depending on where you're at in the world. I'm sure this is going to be a really fun and exciting webinar for us, not only because naturally, as I think most of us are, we're working from home, so I'm usually in a room with our awesome marketing team as we kick those off, but I'm flying solo in my bedroom, and I'm sure naturally my dog will be barking at some point in time, so I think this will be fun. But luckily for all of us, Brian Vest, who's joining us from VMware, is going to do a lot of the talking as well, and hopefully he doesn't have a dog barking in the background. So kick it off here quickly with you guys with an agenda for us. So we're going to start off with a little bit of an intro on Vox Mobile, who we are, what the managed mobility services are that we offer around the Workspace One and VMware suite of products that we have, why Vox Mobile is a great fit for you guys, and a partnership overview for you of our long relationship with VMware and delivering these services into the market. Brian, I'll hand it over to you to go through your agenda.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah, this is Brian Vest here. I'm the product marketing manager in the end user computing business unit for VMware. Global role in charge of all partners and programs. Really thrilled to be here. And today we're going to discuss how VMware, together with Vox Mobile's expertise, empowers the digital workspace. So we'll cover the Workspace One platform, key benefits, impactful use cases, take you on a little customer journey, and then if we have some time, a little Q&A.
Perfect.
And not to worry, I've got my dogs and kids caged up. I can't promise the doorbell may ring. We've got a lot of Amazon packages coming. So other than that, we should be good without interruptions. So I'll hand it back to you.
Absolutely. Well, as luck would have it, people pulled up just as we were getting kicked off here to drop some mulch off in my driveway. So I don't know if my dog will be able to resist himself or not, but I think we'll get through it. Thanks so much. So managed mobility services and what we do here at Vox Mobile. So as we look at managed mobility services, it's really around managing kind of that initial deployment that you guys may have, and then the ongoing day two support and life cycle for your mobile programs and initiatives that you have with the organization, which really boils down to three core services or three core offerings that we bring to the market. First is our strategic consulting that we have, which is really geared at organizations to help them define, understand, and then transform their mobility program that we have. So typically as we work with companies in this arena, they'll say, hey, I don't really know where we're at today, but I know where we want to be or need to be with our mobile program, and what are the steps we need to take and the path that we need to do to get there. And really at the high level, that's what our strategic consulting helps organizations figure out. So it might be trying to rationalize BYOD or what that's going to cost the organization, or what those scenarios look like, or how can we develop processes to help enable our end users better, or hey, how do we deploy these new technologies and take advantage of bringing this new automation into our workforce. So anything in between there is really our strategic consulting. And then operations management is really focused around what is that day two support that you have, and how can we come in and help you there. And those are really where the core services fall under. So we have a 24/7 end user multi-channel help desk that we can help users with. And we have EMM system administration as well, so your Workspace One. So we can come in and help you set it up. We can do all the moves, adds, changes, and deletes day two. And if something goes bump at the night at 3 in the morning, we can be the ones that jump in there and start fixing it, and you guys can get a little extra sleep. We have a software platform that brings a lot of these things together, lets you know where your assets are at that you have deployed in the field, brings in and optimizes that spend from all your different mobile network operators that you might have connecting into that, and also gives you a platform to be able to order and manage all of that workflow as well. And then really we bundle this all together in options that we have device as a service. So taking both the consulting, both the day two support, wrapping that with the leading devices from the manufacturers that we have out there, wrapping that in with Workspace One licensing, any accessories that you have, and turning that around to you for a 1 to 2 year program that you might have, which really gives you what we like to call predictable mobility. So, these devices and the management expenses around them can really quickly become out of hand for a lot of organizations, and really help bring that down for them and give them that one predictable cost, which includes the device, the hardware, the accessories, the Workspace One licensing and input around it, and then all of that management. So it can be a straight line budgeting information for you. All right, we'll go to the next slide, guys. And then really, why Vox Mobile? So certainly there are some others out there that do this space. What makes us a little bit different? First of all, is our focus on end user enablement. So we really work with organizations, we work with companies like you guys that we have here joining the webinar, where mobility is critical to their business. It isn't just, oh, it's another way I can look at my email when my computer's not around. It's really driving and transforming your business. And when that connectivity isn't there and you're not getting the information, your business halts. And for that reason, we focus on what we call end user enablement. So that's making sure that your end users of these devices get the answers that they need fast, and they're able to contact us the way that's most convenient for them. They can call us, they can email us, they can live chat us, they can search our knowledge base to get those things, get the information they need and get back up quickly into the field. Next is needs-based. So I went through a lot of different solutions on that previous stack there. Maybe you need help with some of them, maybe you need help with all of them. We are needs-based. So, maybe your day 2 support on your end user technical help desk, you've got that handled, but you can't figure out how to deploy 5,000 of these devices. You can't figure out how do I get my org group set up in Workspace One for this brand new initiative that I'm doing. We can come in there and just help you with the things that you need help with and really give you that needs-based offering that you have. And then last is our consulting and strategy services that we have. Again, we want to take on that day 2 support, but we want to help you and partner with you to make sure that your program is better, right? And that's really what we focus on. And why Vox and why our partnership with VMware then as well. So we've been a strategic managed service provider and member of the VCPP program for quite some time. What does that mean? A lot of different ways that you can buy and host your Workspace One product. We have one way that in that tenant that we have, so it's a multi-tenant solution that we have. You guys get your own tenant in there, and we can manage it for you, and you can run it. That's one way you consume it. We do that, done it for a long time. We do it really well, and we have VMware's largest tenant on that program that we have. We've been with the VMware Workspace One product for over 12 years. For those of you that have been around for a while, you might recall it used to be called AirWatch. We go way back to those AirWatch days with VMware, and a lot of the team members that we've worked with 12 years ago still there and in the VMware family, and just a great relationship that we have. And then lastly, we have a team of VMware certified technical resources that are available to deploy this as well. So we spend a ton of time with VMware. They spend a ton of time with us, making sure that we have the latest certifications and training on their product, especially as they're releasing new ones out in the field. And we've got a great bench to help you get up and running or fine-tuning perhaps the Workspace One product that you guys have. I think with that, then, Brian, I will hand it over to you. Take us through the next part of our conversation here.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. I mean, I'll tell you, I put this up a little bit early, but it's really a compelling quote from one of our leaders at VMware. Really, your reputation in the industry and within VMware is extraordinary. I really am tuned into the messaging and why Vox and that end user engagement. We talk about employee experience. We'll talk about it today. But you've got to have those end users really engage with their applications and simplify things so that they're more productive. We'll get into it. But what's interesting is obviously, we've, over the last few weeks, we've all experienced this evolution of what life is, right? Both at work and at home. And the recent development really opened up a dialogue, right, about how to best approach remote working. VMware has been in the business of virtualization for close to 2 decades. And as you said, that acquisition of AirWatch enabled us to deliver business-critical applications and content to the field and to mobile devices in a sophisticated but simple way. We say any app, any device, anywhere. The tools that are in use today are really outdated and dare I say, detached from the reality of today's modern workforce. These were built on the old client server technologies of 25 years ago that really required siloed tools, large infrastructure, and endpoints to be inside the perimeter. That the status quo is really putting at risk security and employee productivity. So in fact, customers find it increasingly high touch and expensive to manage these users and devices. So on the left there, it's a big number, but 80% is the cost of post-deployment management. Hello, Vox Mobile. Just taking it to the next level and having that chat and helping the end users and managing your instances, fantastic. So that can definitely help with that box there. Middle one, 95% of breaches originate at endpoint. It came from a data breach investigation report published in 2017. And most interestingly here, reported by Forbes Insight in partnership with VMware, 76% of employees do not agree that IT is providing the apps that they need to get the work done. So all the millennials coming in, they want it super simple, they want access to applications, and taking that legacy approach is really hindering that and hindering companies from not only acquiring but retaining the talent. So here's what we know. You must abstract this digital silos or silo to enable a heterogeneous approach. Great employee experiences won't come from a single vertical stack. Security, always a constant threat, right? And all these things continue to drive up complexity and cost. So why manage these three? It's, for example, I put up 3 example OSs and hardware. Why manage it with different point solutions, right? Point solution or the Frankenstein approach leads to increased cost that constrains an already overwhelmed IT shop. And that's why you need a platform, right? So the platform approach is needed to break down the silos, and that's what we've built. Workspace One is the only open, intelligence-driven platform that allows you to have better management, better security, and better experience for your users than any other solution in the market. And that experience leads to the engagement and that productivity. Let me explain a little bit why. So employee experience, day one, sometimes we're starting to say day 0 when someone gets their offer letter, regardless of device type. Give your employees the best experience with choice. I think you guys like to say variety at Vox, using the V, simple sign-on, single sign-on, and app delivery. With modern management, especially with this device as a service, if you bring all your endpoints, Win 10 included, into a single pane of glass to manage or have Vox Mobile help manage all the devices at a lower and predictable cost. Well, virtualization is easy. That's pretty much the V in VMware. And insights automation, really these drive the intelligence-driven decisions from data analysis on your mobile fleet. Abstracting this type of complexity is our passion, and it runs deep in VMware's DNA, but a platform alone is not sufficient.
And I think, Brian, it does a really good job of tying in what you said on the other slide as well, right, about what happens when companies, when employees don't feel that the companies are giving them the applications that they want. They might leave, right? Certainly that's one area, as the study shows, but more importantly, they're just going to go around IT and get it, right? And when I have all these disparate silos that are managing this, right, IT aren't trying to say no. It's just that they don't have that platform to be enabled to enable those applications that they want as well, right? Which is such a big key core to this.
Huge, and we call it shadow IT. That's a perfect tee up. I mean, really, we talk about our platform that enables IT customers to empower their workforce to securely bring the technology, right, devices, apps, whatever, at the pace and the cost that the business needs. But it's really built as the 2 key tenets of consumer simple on the left and enterprise secure. So at the end of the day, as you were saying, Rob, if technology that you deliver to your customers is unusable, you'll be back to square one, where the employees are start to bypass IT and bring in their tools of choice, resulting in that cost and moreover, that lack of security, right? So, excuse me, with Workspace One, you can now meet your business objectives by delivering a great user experience and that engagement, and you don't need to compromise enterprise security to get there. So our beliefs, right? So simply and securely deliver and manage any app on any device with VMware Workspace One, which integrates access control, application management, multi-platform endpoint management into this single platform. Again, any device, any app, anywhere. So 3 reasons why Workspace One's platform is superior to multiple point solutions. Number 1, modern management. So most simply, modern management, I'll describe it as a set of public-facing APIs that allow modern operating systems to be managed securely from the cloud. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Samsung, and others agree this is the way all devices, regardless of ownership, will be managed going forward. Middle button there, security and privacy, it remains at front and center at VMware and within our platform. With inherent security at the foundation, Workspace One product development follows privacy by design principles to ensure privacy is proactively embedded into the core, into the product's core, I should say. And then user experience, employees are at the heart of enabling this digital transformation. When the employees are empowered and they feel trusted, they can deliver the innovation and brand new ideas to allow that transformation that will make our customers truly successful. Employees experience a consistent onboarding experience regardless of device type that leads to this business value, right? So easy onboarding with over-the-air provisioning of devices, push technology, self-service capabilities, right? Simple IT processes to support that heterogeneity, right? In employee profiles and devices, right? Consistent user experience. Employee login connected to Active Directory, so all they need is one login. Consistent and productive experience from day 0, we'll call it, or day 1. A few key benefits because management tools, processes, policies all combined. Workspace One gives organizations that simplified management. You've got Vox Mobile there to assist with your inventory of devices, the visibility, security, your profile, compliance, to really help deliver that consistent end user experience and engagement, and really improved overall operational efficiency. So the single platform approach eliminates the need for multiple point solutions and affords many customers flexibility, scalability that they need for modern device management platform. And contrary to popular belief, you do not have to give up security to deliver an intuitive yet simple experience as we're used to in our personal lives, right, in the consumer world. Employees that are given this simplified access to resources that help them do their jobs are proven to be more engaged and more collaborative in their company, in their team, their individual work, right? So we'll dive into a few impactful use cases. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the areas, right, where we align so well between our two organizations, right? Being best in class, as we talked about before, is a key belief in the superior end user experience that you guys have, but also as we go through the use cases as well. Like so many times, Brian, I'm sure you do as well, I talk to customers, right, and they'll say, Workspace One's such a great product, but I don't know if we're there yet. Right. And I think the use cases are really important for organizations to understand that Workspace One is needs-based as well. Right. So we're going to lead you guys through some amazing use cases that we have and some digital journeys as well, but understand the platform's built to grow with you as well. Right. So if you're at a mail, contacts, calendar, and maybe 1 or 2 managed apps right now, but that's changing in the next 6 months, over the next year as well. There's scalable solutions from Workspace One that will help you as well. So, I don't want anyone to leave intimidated, right? Or thinking that we have to do all of these things to boil the ocean to drive that value from the platform. And you can really build that foundation now before you get into those weeds, which in some cases is much more beneficial for organizations.
Yep, absolutely. And wherever customers are in that journey, that's why it's so critical to have a partner like Vox there to help. Because sometimes they don't know, where are we in our journey? Can we get a health check? What's going on with
right.
And what's the next step? And where do we go? So I know it can be overwhelming, but with a partner like Vox Mobile, it's just fantastic. And we've got results to prove that. So a few of the use cases and really benefits. So I'll hit on the lower cost. Again, manage all devices, mobile, desktop, from a single console with Workspace One. You can drive consistent processes and policies across iOS, Android, Win 10, Mac, even Chrome OS, and more. Reinvent PC management using real-time cloud-based approach to complement or replace legacy PCLM. So simplify OS deployment, consolidate your tools for management, eliminate on-premises infrastructure, simplify that configuration and app lifecycle management. On the security, near and dear to my heart, improve security and compliance. Really combine that intrinsic security across device, users, and apps to simplify access control. And industry-leading modern management of all devices and access management across all applications makes the platform simple without sacrificing security. So, for instance, push-based policy and patch management, real-time device context posture, right? Self-remediation, policy-based security and compliance automation. All these things really improve security and compliance and alleviate a lot of that unneeded tickets and IT that you just don't need. Deliver better user experience. So really any solution any discussions we think should begin with the employee, right? What are the needs of employees? What are the needs of the teams and lines of business? Vox can really help best connect IT and business value, the more focus on employee experience and engagement, and really the adoption of new business tools. The more talent you can retain through that, the breadth and the simplicity of the experience that helps IT deliver. So choice, right? So enable end user choice in applications, devices, really privacy-centric management, one-touch self-service access to applications for the end user, and then faster and really reliable system performance. All right. My favorite two slides here, the gap slide. So as you know, the number of devices accessing corporate data keeps increasing, especially now. But PC operating systems are becoming more, should I say, dynamic in nature, adopting that MDM framework, meaning all OSs can be updated or changed anytime, not locked down and imaging-based anymore, right? It creates a perimeter problem where more locations result in more insecure networks and endpoints, leading to greater risk of cyber threats. So there's limited IT visibility with siloed solutions across the environment. IT is bogged down with time-consuming manual tasks. They can't manage and mitigate risks at scale. The typical IT response and policy is just to block application access, which, what does that do? In turn, that obstructs employee experience and that productivity, leading them to circumvent security controls, or as I love to say, shadow IT. So implementing the platform approach really helps alleviate many of the challenges recognized by the need for security and ease of use. Security is at the foundation of VMware solutions, and Workspace One is the tip of that security spear. Now more than ever, the endpoints, specifically mobile, are prime targets for security threats. So leverage the platform to ensure your corporate assets and data are protected. So this might look like a busy slide, but I just absolutely love it, and this is why the PowerPoint is 150 megabytes. But what it's showing is the four different device types. It's a cool slide,
Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry if y'all have a hard time downloading the slide, but really it's a consistent experience. It shows no matter what the device type, right? Whether it's a Chromebook, a Dell, iPad, tablet, what have you, it's this easy employee onboarding. So it's a consistent experience. Simple IT processes to support that heterogeneity in the employee profiles and devices. Again, employee logon, just boom. First, I'll tell you, this is an anecdote here, but my first day at VMware was April 8th. So tomorrow will be my 1-year anniversary. I still remember opening up my box. And of course, I selected a Dell. Of course, I got to pick whatever I wanted, so I had to pick a Dell. I remember getting started, and as I expected, it took me less than an hour to get into all the systems that I needed. I had elected healthcare, installed applications through the Workspace One hub. Email is just there, set up for me, of course, as I expected. And it was extremely simple, and that's the way that it should be. So the screenshot really just depict how, no matter what the device, Workspace One has the same enrollment process, and then most importantly, the same user experience from all.
And you know, Brian, it's so important and maybe a little bit personal to me. I just brought on a new hire, and we've got about 80% of our apps all managed by Workspace One. We've got a couple of outliers out there that our IT team's working on, right? And even just from a process standpoint, you know, as a manager hiring someone, let alone being the person in IT that does that, it just makes it so simple, right? I enable someone in my profile group, right? And it's done, right? And they're set up and they're ready to go. Now, these other 15% of the applications that we've had, I've spent probably 2 hours today opening tickets up to get my new hire set up for these other applications.
Oh, wow.
And it's just all the ways in which it just streamlines everyone's time and increases that productivity is just amazing. And the new hire experience is such one that people don't think about, but spend so much time on internally, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the more that we talk about day one, we're moving to a day zero approach. So when somebody gets their offer letter, they can go ahead and elect their, you know, HR benefits, provide them an audible assistant, a virtual assistant, literally. So before they even get, you know, day one, they're in there poking around and looking at applications to make them even more productive from day one onward. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Good to hear. Get the other 20% on Workspace One.
I know. I think our IT guy's listening on here. So.
Oh my! Well, give them my email address. We'll talk.
No, it's actually marketing. It's actually marketing's fault. They got a couple of really wonky things they're using that we're actually switching platforms on. So that's why.
Gotcha. Hey, I was even stumped. I got to the end of the rainbow, and when I went to request my American Express, I had to wait 2 weeks before I could get my corporate card. So there's some things that you will have to wait for, but being productive from day one is the point. Being engaged, making it easy for the employees is really where it's at.
Well, we'll have to ping Dell Financial Services, see what they can do for you guys.
Moving on. So this is obviously, all of us can really feel this use case, right? Today, so many challenges we're facing that being able to work remotely is mission critical. I believe, I thought of that even before, the current events, but even more so today. If you don't have the tools to simplify deployment and access, the burden on IT is massive. Yet again, here's where Vox Mobile can step in and help with the consulting and talk about your journey and help you through that. So Workspace One, our platform, provides Vox with a simple way to help you and your employees access any app anywhere. It just really reduces time to deploy those new apps from months to minutes. Reduce password-related help desk tickets, right? Which again helps that employee engagement. They're not frustrated, want to throw their device across the table. And improve time to productivity for the users and new services and improve that user satisfaction of IT services. Interestingly enough, a couple of weeks ago, my wife had to fly out of state. I was in charge of my 2 children. So I picked them up from school back when they were still at the facility, and I left to take them for ice training, as a good father should. And my boss pinged me, and she needed access to a document that she was presenting the next day. Well, I had shared it on SharePoint, but I didn't give that edit access. So instead of me having to turn around and come back home, I pulled over into the parking lot of Target and pulled up Workspace One, went to SharePoint, gave edit access. As well, I accessed my desktop and OneDrive, and I was able to attach the document, the PowerPoint, and send it to her. So I gave edit access, and I sent the document all from my mobile device. And that's the way it's designed, is for you to be able and be empowered to do those types of things. And then I went back, and we're at the ice cream shop and all as well. So I looked like a hero, but I think my boss kind of expects some of those things now. No excuse that I'm out and mobile. Get me what I need. So let's go to the journey. This is what the current situation. So businesses adopt this digital workspace strategy to streamline processes and boost agility, business agility. This is an overall representation of a typical organization's current challenges. Where am I? So, when our marketing, Rob, drew this up, they couldn't see into the future and how we're all working now remotely. So even more important, to deliver simple access and troubleshooting, employees can't just drop into the IT bar for help. how can you address the evolving needs of a mobile workforce? And then we get closer to the happy place. This is the transition slide. The digital workspace isn't just a technology, it's a movement. And by taking advantage of today's cloud-based management technologies, digital workspace pioneers deliver self-service, out-of-the-box experience, or experiences that scale across platforms and locations. To reap the full benefits of consumer device and application innovations, however, you need a partner and you need a platform that collapses the traditional silos between mobile, desktop, line of business, application management, etc. And then we get to the happy place, the beach. The digital workspace strategy helps you implement proactive solutions. And best of all, you can use the time and money saved to help move your business forward. IT can pivot from being the team that does device setup and imaging and let Vox Mobile manage that. And then IT can start bringing that innovation or continue to bring more innovation to the business. So again, wherever you are in your journey, Vox Mobile and VMware are here to help you deliver a world-class platform for your business.
And then if you get those two things, then you can spend your time playing on a beach, is our key takeaway, right?
A beach or in the sand at a golf course, just so there's some sand somewhere.
That's right. Sunshine and sand.
That's it. So people must be a driver and a measurement of success. You can have sophisticated technology delivered with simplicity and not lose critical security. And again, last time I promise I'll say the platform approach saves time, resources, cash, and allows for scalability, unlike that point play. So with that, I believe that's my last slide. So I want to thank you all very much. And Rob, back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And it's really just such a fantastic deck that you guys have, Brian, to walk people through this. It's just really great. We were super excited to especially see the digital transformation journey that you guys had. People throw that word around so much, and they're just such great slides to articulate really what it is that means. And I asked my marketing director why she didn't come up with that. She indicated that maybe you guys have a little bit more money and a bigger team, but I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways, we certainly appreciate it. And look, I think the other key takeaway that we have here restated again, regardless of where you guys are at on that digital transformation journey, everyone's on it, right? Whether we want to recognize it or not, or people want to stick their head in the sand and say, no, we're not. Everyone is, right? And that's really where VMware Vox Mobile can come in, help you guys rationalize where you're at, where you want to be, and how we can come in and help your organization to get there, regardless of where you guys are at on that path. So with that, appreciate everyone taking some time out to explain it. There's a lot packed into a short amount of time here, so please reach out to us as you have additional questions, want some clarifications, understand things a little bit better. Operators are standing by to help you guys out with those questions. And Brian, thanks to you again. We really appreciate you guys taking some time to walk through this with us.
My pleasure. Thank you. Great team.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.